What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, IG family? Guess who, guess who, guess who? It's your girl, Dr. Shana. I'm going to give y'all a second to come on in here. It's Friday night. Y'all on y'all way to the football game? Yes, I am super excited to be here for another Friday Night Live. I'm waiting on my guests to join me in just a second. Hold on one second. I hope that y'all have had an amazing week thus far. Listen, y'all, we have made it through another week. Look at God. 2021 is rolling. It is already what's today? March the 5th. That is absolutely wild to me. Absolutely wild to me that it is already March the 5th. We have been here for 5 days. Do you understand that this is the third month of the year and we are now in almost Q2? How many of y'all understand that Q2 was about to start in just a few weeks? So I hope you're getting yourself together and yourself ready. Now, if you are new to me and you're just rolling up on this live, I am Dr. Shana D. Lewis, but all my friends call me Dr. Shana. I am a licensed professional counselor. I am a TEDx speaker, and I am... Oh, hold on one second. I'm trying to get my guest in here. It says unable to join. Let me see, sis. Hang on one second. Why is it telling me I can't even invite you to join? LB Speaks is, let me see. It's telling me I can't. It's telling me unable to invite you to join. So maybe you have to, I'm not sure, pop off and come right back. That's what happened to one of my other guests the other day. They had to pop off and come back. For some reason, it would not even allow me to invite you to join the live. So I'm in Houston, Texas, Blondie. I'm down here where we just had the amazing snowstorm that was hurricane. I would say hurricane, felt like a hurricane. That was winter blast Uri. That took power out and all the water for a week down here. So that's where I live. Where are you guys from? If you're joining the live, go ahead and get in the chat and just tell me where you are. I always love to know where folks are, where you're from, those who are watching the live. And Friday Night Live is really just an opportunity for me to bring to you some thought leaders, some experts in various areas of life, so that they can help us all as we maneuver this new world order that we have. Ramona, California. Okay, I've never heard of Ramona before, Blondie. I used to live in California, actually, in Pasadena when I was a child, but I've never heard of Ramona. Well, welcome me in to Friday Night Live. So tonight I have a guest. She is an amazing clinician. Let me see. She'll come back in just a second. She is an amazing licensed professional counselor and supervisor just as myself. And she has a wonderful, let me see, will it let me? No, it doesn't even let me click on you at all. It just says everyone else in this room has a circle, but you don't have a circle. I don't understand why. Okay, let me see. All right, so you grew up in LA, Blondie. Got you. No, I haven't been in California a mighty long time. It still won't let me invite you. It says unable to join at all. Let me see. So this is how technology doesn't want us to be great. You know what I mean? It doesn't want us to be great. Now, I do know this, that IG just changed some of their IG Live platform. So now you can invite more people to be in the live room with you. Used to just be one person. Now you can have up to 3 people. So I don't know if that reconfiguration is what has made this difficult or what. Okay, but I think she's going to pop back in and we'll see if I'll be able to invite her when she comes back. But anyway, so this is just an opportunity for us to share and talk and figure out how we can make our way into, now that one, I can like the other one. I'm trying to figure out what that one said. Let me see if Miss Bell can make her way in here. Let's see. There she is. Let me hear you.
Hello, hello.
Mic check, man.
1, 2, 3. I went in through my personal account, so I don't know what's going on with the other account. So I was just like, let
Oh.
me try to go in through a different account. So maybe that.
Yeah, I wonder. So, because they did change something where now you can have three people in these lives. I understand that now, which is exciting, right? Because it only used to just be two, which has always been fine, but we love having lots of folks to talk to.
That's it. So we can go.
Indeed. So, welcome in. So, I was just letting the folks know, welcome in to Friday Night Live. You know, technology is not always our friend, but we will not be denied tonight, honey. This is Women's History Month, and we're going to make history tonight on March the 5th.
That's
I am your girl, Dr. Shana, and I'm super excited to be your host tonight. And with me is one of my girls. Listen, I tell y'all, I bring y'all my best. I don't bring y'all no shabby. I don't bring y'all no mess. I bring y'all my best. And tonight, I also have another one of an amazing licensed professional counselor. She's a speaker. She is an author. She's a supervisor. She's an entrepreneur. She just a bomb, y'all. Let me tell you. So here we have the owner of I Choose Me. Listen, I choose me. Now, how many of y'all type that in the comments? I choose me. How many of you actually know how to choose yourself? And if you don't, hang tight, hit the share button. Somebody in your timeline needs to hear this message tonight because she's struggling to choose herself and she's choosing the rest of the world. Hey, Linda Sunshine, thank you for popping in. My uncle is on this live. Uncle Donnell, get in the comments. Let me see if you know how to use IG. I see you. Blondie says, I know how to choose me. Good girl. So listen, this conversation tonight is going to be all about learning how to choose yourself. And I'm telling you, the amazing. And it's funny, in my phone, she is L. Bell. That's who she is in my line. I want you to meet her. Tell them a little bit more about you. Come on in this place. Let the folks know who you are.
so. I mean, I think you summed it up and you said. But I mean, the biggest thing, the most important thing, is that I'm a woman. You know, I'm a woman
Yes.
person, and then I'm a Black woman.
Come on.
Just trying to show up in this life and navigate all of this crazy. I was just talking to a friend earlier, and we're gonna call this 2020 point.
Yeah.
So 2021 don't even get to be called 2021. We just don't call it a continuation of 2020. So yes, I do have a private practice. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I have bonus daughters that are 25 and 23. I am the creator and talk show host of Am I Crazy? That streams on a few platforms, including Roku TV, Amazon, Apple, on my YouTube channel, LaShasta Bell. Just out here in these streets trying to normalize mental health and
Yep.
make sure everybody getting their mental health checkups and getting and being their best self.
Listen, don't we need that right now? Lord. Listen.
I just need a self. It just can a part of me show up. It ain't gotta be every day the best part, but right now can the left leg get out the bed?
I know, because sometimes it's hard, right? It's hard in these streets. It's difficult. There's a lot of things that we have been tested and tried with. The pandemic is not over. Forget what you heard. It's not over. We still here. I mean, people are still struggling. And here's one of my greatest concerns about all of this, though, is once this pandemic is done, we're going to have a mental health pandemic because so much mental health has been under attack in the midst of this. So let's just even start with that. I mean, because I know, LaShasta, you have a practice, you treat all kinds of folks in your practice, and you see people, and even with your TV show, you're interviewing people. What are you seeing as the struggles that we're having right now?
Ooh, there are so many, and that whole wintry weather that shut us down, it put people even more so in a panic. Because earlier you almost called it a hurricane, but that's what
I know. That's what it felt like.
that's what we're used to, and like we
Yep.
prepare around hurricane season for the possibility of losing electricity, losing water, storms, et cetera, et cetera. We believe we're safe in January and January and February. So
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing an influx of people coming in because they're saying like this storm happening brought up stuff from Harvey from
Mm-hmm.
2018. So that's a new on the horizon. Then everyday stress of working from home, working and being the teacher from home, COVID, and people how they choose to recognize restrictions, recommendations, requirements. It's all of that. Then you have the political air,
Yeah.
and everything surrounding the presidency, people coming in regarding that, just not in this whole disbelief. It's like it was a year of grieving. We've grieved
Yeah.
so many different things, and then some people are just coming in just for their checkup, just to say like, all of these stressors got to be impacting me some kind of way. I may not be able to put my finger on it, but
Mm-hmm.
here and it's happening. So we're seeing so many different reasons for coming in, but we are getting like an influx of families.
Mm.
And I get it, because everybody together, and I ain't
Yeah.
with your mouth open. Like,
Yes, that part.
yeah, you chew a little more quietly.
Please. You know why I'm really tickled? Because my kid said the other day, Mama, you smacking. I was like, what? No, he said, what's that noise? And I'm looking like, what are you talking about? He said, can you chew quieter? I'm like, oh.
See, the baby.
I'm guilty. Apparently, I'm guilty too.
Yeah, look, because he had been around you all,
No, not eating all day, every day.
exactly. So, I mean, we're seeing a lot of that, and of course, as you know, women seek therapy more so than men, and
Yeah.
so that's the bulk of who's coming in and requesting services. But they're also requesting services for their teenagers. So, seeing more teenagers in counseling than before because of all the changes, and then with what your governor said earlier this week.
Yeah.
I'm giving him to you.
Be my governor now. Okay.
It's a whole new panic on the rise.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
educators are concerned, students are concerned, parents are
Mhm.
concerned. And the most important thing is like, okay, how do I take care of me
Yeah.
in the midst of taking care of all of the people?
Oh, that's a loaded question. That's loaded. Thank you, Natasha, for tuning in. Appreciate the love. Listen, that's a loaded question. How do we answer that? Because you just talked about all of the other things that have to be taken care of. The children and their school. If you got your own job, you at home working from home, or maybe you have to go in the house, all of the things. My kid's favorite question, what we gonna eat? When I tell you that one question blows me up, I be like,
Ooh, look, I had to tell the people in this house years ago, these Kevins over here, that I am not the keeper of the answer to that question. It's a special answer in my pocket that's on, like, ready to pop out. How about we cultivate a community?
come on now.
Hey, let's all decide what's for dinner. I'm not the single person, so I trust and believe. I had to say, don't ask me that. Don't
Girl,
at NT more. Period.
that right there, that burn a hole in me faster than anything else. So, but with all of the responsibility, and most of our conversation, I'm talking about women because that's who we are, right? We are women, and we're the ones feeling this piece. Not to say the fellas are not feeling their own stress, because I know we all are feeling the stress. But how do we take care of ourselves in the midst of all of this chaos and all of these things? Like, if you were to give us some steps, right? Like the things and how we could consider it, because it's an overwhelming thought, because women will show up and be like, I have no clue how to do that. I don't know where I would start. Because if I don't do all of these other things, everything gonna burn down. So what am I supposed to do? Where do I fit? Where do we even begin with that?
Well, sometimes some stuff got to burn down to clear out.
Mm,
So that's a whole look. That's a whole nother. But I would start with one, understanding what self-care is. It's not
okay.
all the razzle dazzle that we see on social media. It's literally
Mhm.
any thought or behavior that contributes positively to your mental and physical health. So
Okay.
waking up in the morning and saying, I am beautiful, I am loved, that is self-care. It's
Got it.
home for the day because you walk through the day believing you're beautiful, believing you're loved, believing you're strong, whatever it is. So that takes no time.
Yes.
It literally is a few seconds of a thought that you were going to have anyway, which was probably like, oh, I got to get up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what for me. So we were going to have a thought there anyway. It's just
Mm-hmm.
replace it with a thought that is geared toward loving on ourselves, prioritizing ourselves first. So shifting the way we think about ourselves and how we affirm is the first place, because you know I'm a biblical, I'm a God's girl,
Mm-hmm.
and everything starts in your thoughts. You know,
Yeah.
whatsoever a man thinketh, so is he. So
Mm-hmm.
start thinking that we are valuable and we deserve
Yeah.
15 minutes to ourselves in a day, or 20 minutes or an hour, whatever it is, then we'll start cultivating a space for that. So changing your mindset of how you see yourself in your own life is the first thing. And then two, I would say self-compassion. I love some self-compassion, but it's something that we as women do not give ourselves enough of. Or a friend can be going through and we'll rub her back and be like, girl, you're going to be all right. It's okay. But the moment we do something wrong, like didn't put the dinner on the table at 6 o'clock, it was 7, we beat ourselves up.
Oh, wow. That's big, because we do that all of the time. Our own worst inner critic, right? Always that tape going, you should have done this, should have done that. Got you. That's a good one. Self-compassion. So listen, if you commercial break, if you're just tuning in right now, you just rolled up on Friday Night Live. I am Dr. Shana, and I am your host tonight. This is an opportunity to bring experts and thought leaders to you to help us all maneuver. I said maneuver through this new life that we have right now and all of the stuff that we have going on. Tonight, my special guest is LaShasta Bell. She's a licensed professional counselor and owner of I Choose Me counseling agency. I'm not saying that right. Is it counseling agency?
Yes, I Choose Me counseling. I don't do
I Choose Me counseling. No agency on the end, but it is an agency, but not in the title. So let's just check that. But you can Google her and you can find her. That I do know for sure. And she just dropping some knowledge here about what is self-care. How do we choose ourselves, and offering self-compassion. Welcome in, Kathy. And hey, Nicole, welcome in. So self-compassion, now that's a whole word right there, because we are so much more likely to extend that to other people, because we've been socialized, bred to do that, right? To pour into other people, give them what we need. So when did somebody teach us that we could give ourselves that same self-compassion?
No one taught me. Life knocked me down enough. I was overly exhausted enough.
Yeah.
Was awake at night enough.
Yeah.
I said, I'm tired. I cannot live life like this every day anymore. I know this is not the life that God called me to live. It has. And part of that more was shifting and then forgiving myself. That self-compassion is just extending kindness to yourself when you think you mess up.
Oh, she must have received a call or something. There you go. You back. You back.
Okay, sorry. I have a timer on my phone, y'all, for how long I stay on social media. So it popped up.
Oh, so it just popped up and told you you've been on here too long.
It'd be like,
I love it.
Your time is up. Hold on. I feel like the kid.
But you know what? I love that just happened, because that's an example of self-care. That's you. I love that. That's a beautiful example. That really is. It is.
It is. And because one thing that was happening with all that's going on, scrolling social media and timelines, you take in a lot of information. You can't unsee what you see. You can't unsee what you heard. And your brain got to do something with it, along with everything from the day. So that's part of the reason why I do have the timer on there. But that self-compassion, like you said, we're our own biggest critic. So you can extend self-compassion to the criticism that you give to your own self, then the criticism starts to decrease. You start to feel better about yourself. And as we feel better about ourselves, then we can put boundaries in place to teach other people how to treat us, but we
Oh,
learn how we want to treat ourselves first.
wow. So that's good. So if I don't understand my own boundaries, how am I going to teach you how to use them when you interact with me? Because I haven't created them. I don't even have them for me.
Exactly.
That's big. That's big. That's real big.
And so that's how we take care of ourselves and choose ourselves, is by sitting with ourselves, like understanding what we need and what we want. I can't give you a need statement if I don't even know what I need. If I'm so flustered
Yeah.
and I'm so overwhelmed that all I'm
Yeah.
doing is being preoccupied with the overwhelmness and with being flustered, you got to get out of that some kind of way.
Yeah.
And the way you get out is by saying, okay, whatever I think I did not do well, it's okay. I'll get a chance to do it again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And especially for us moms, we
Mm-hmm.
this whole other armor of weightedness about parenting and being this best parent, or taking care of our kids and doing all the things for them. And literally, I said years ago, I don't want to be everything for my kid. I
Mm.
want to build an amazing village where
Mm-hmm.
I sort out. I'm a son,
Yeah.
but I wasn't trying to be my son tutor.
Right.
I want to be your mama. I don't want to be.
Right.
Now,
Right.
granted, I know I'm his first teacher, and there's some
Right.
things I cannot source out, but that's
Right.
one of the things too. Started thinking about, like, as women, what can we source out?
Mm.
Feel like we got to do all the cooking, do all the cleaning, do all the problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
No, can I teach you how to problem solve? Can I support this small business over here that caters dinners?
Right.
Can I support this other small business? Let me rearrange some things to put that in the budget, because now that's time that I get to take back and do something for me.
For me. So that's how you do it. Now, I hope you caught that, because what you just described is a foolproof, what they call a foolproof plan. Because when I teach you how to be self-sufficient, do some things for yourself, then it will literally free me from having to do that for you. Wow.
That part. I
Mm.
I have a friend for years. She has called my son independent ASAP.
Mm.
And from an early time, she recognized that the goal was to teach him so he can do it independently ASAP.
Okay.
Because as soon as he can do it, then I don't have to. But then
Yep.
I get to go to the next thing and teach him the next thing.
Right. Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
it's kind of like tying a shoe. If you don't teach a child how to tie their shoe, you'll literally be tying their shoe for the rest of their life.
Forever. It sure will.
Now, granted, it does take more time, or seem like it takes more time to teach them, because you got to do hand over hand, and you have to practice and you have to practice.
Right.
But the long
Right.
game is, if I teach you at 5, then I'm not doing it at 8.
Oh, that's good. Now, I hope you done set some mama out here free, because that is so simple, but I don't know that we naturally go to that though, right? We go to, well, let me do it because I can do it faster. Let me do it because it's quicker. I gotta go. We don't. We just do it because we think it's easier. But what you describe is easier in the moment, but in the long run, you are costing yourself energy, time, and you're crippling your children at the same time too.
That's it. That absolutely, absolutely. So for moms, I just wanted to pour into them in that space, because I think
Mm-hmm.
that we sometimes carry of not
Yeah.
doing everything or not doing it right.
Right.
I was literally talking to a client the other day. I said, we have this whole thing. Let's sit down at dinner and everybody sit down and share their day. But if the mom is irritated, frustrated because she worked,
Mm-hmm.
had
All day.
work, then came home and cooked, what's the value in sitting down at the dinner table with a cranky, grumpy, irritated?
None. Don't nobody want to talk to her.
Everybody eating fast to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to, okay, we can order out tonight, we can sit around, chit chat. I'm more relaxed. Everybody's more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point is to connect.
Yeah.
We don't have to connect like our moms did or their moms did or how it was in the 60s. We can choose what our household dynamics look like and what's best for us, because when we are well, then everyone else around us is well.
That's a good point. I mean, because I always say, if mom ain't right, ain't nobody right. And that's not just a cliche. It really is true. As women, we do set the tone and the pace in our homes. And welcome in, ladies. You're just joining us. This is Friday Night Live, and I am Dr. Shana, and we're having a conversation with LaShasta Bell. She's a licensed professional counselor, and she's talking to us about how we can choose ourselves. Like, there's so many reasons why we can think that we won't do it or we can't do it. But you're describing all of the ways we can do it, how we can choose ourselves. And it's not, you have to be intentional though, right? Because you have to intend to equip your children with the things that they need so that they can be self-sufficient, so that you're free to take care of you. You have to be intentional about creating space so that we all have good energy. So I don't show up, grumpy and angry and frustrated, and then y'all want to run away from me. But it's all about intention. It just really is. And so, it may be a woman on the line right now and she struggles, right, to be intentional or consistent because she's overwhelmed right now with all the things. She's a single mom, right? She's on her own. She doesn't have the help. She has the little kids or the job, or she's stressed out about all of these things. Is there something different that she needs to consider? The woman that's completely overwhelmed now versus the one that I can just figure it out?
First, consider the village.
Mm.
Like, how much investment, how much time have you invested in your village? There was a post circulating that said extreme independence is a trauma response.
Yeah, that's good.
Checking that the temperature there. Like, if you are truly the only person your child has, then that's a whole problem in and of itself, because
Gotcha.
it means that you're not in any healthy relationships, that you
Right.
are willing to trust and be vulnerable and ask for help.
Got it.
And so that's one thing. Like, let's just check in and see if there is a village. Start leaning into them.
Okay.
Set timers on their phone, because we have 5 minutes. My mom was a single parent of 4 kids. She had 5 minutes in the morning. She had 5 minutes before bedtime. Evaluate, because like you said, intentionality is important. Self-awareness is important, but self-reflection is just as valuable. Reflect on, where are you spending your time? Or, I know we're on social media platform right now, but how much time are you spending scrolling through shenanigans and nonsense when that you're reading a book that you enjoy, or listening to a podcast, or breathing to release some of the stress in your body, or meditating, or yoga, or exercising? There's time. I can wholeheartedly, I've been in front of audiences of hundreds of women, and they'll say, well, we don't have time. That's the thing. And I'll take a guess, and literally I say, I will find you 15 minutes in your day right now. From how long you take to get to work? How long you take to get home from work? Do you go to the grocery store? All of those are opportunities to listen to a podcast, create a to enjoy, and listen to that music and sing aloud. We know as clinicians that music is therapy, that is healing. And if you could bust a move real quick, it's so the time is there. It's just about reflecting on how the time is spent, allocating it somewhere else.
Got you. So it's choosing. So that is a great excuse that gets made. I don't have time. And we hear that often. So what you're saying is we get to choose how we use our time is actually what we need to do. Because we all get the same 24 hours in a day, right? We don't get cheated out of the time. It's just how we choose to use the time. And you can choose to use the time by choosing you.
That's it.
If you decide to do that. That's the key.
That's the key. Like, I've been doing this Bible study with this group, and I didn't realize it was 5 days in a video. And so I'm like, oh, I got to find time. And I'm like, no. I got to take back my time, because the time is there. So ideally, I want to do it in the morning, because that's what people talk about, doing their devotion and Bible study in the morning. Well, that's not my story every morning. For myself, you don't have to do it like others do it. The whole idea is to get it done. So literally, before we hopped on, I had about 30 minutes, and I could choose to sit downstairs and watch TV with my husband, which he's watching it, and I'm just there for the quality time.
Right.
Or I could choose to come up to my room and spend that 30 minutes on the Bible study that I didn't do this morning because the morning got away from me.
Right. Exactly. It's a choice you made.
It's a choice I made. Now, if I would have chose to sit there and watch TV, then in the morning I'll be beating myself up that I didn't even get that Bible done yesterday.
And I know I was supposed to read yesterday. Exactly. Exactly.
So that's what I
That's
need
good.
taking that. And of course, it's like, well, it's that moment of, well, I could be spending time with my husband. And then I'm like, you know what? He's not thirsting for time with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
where he would communicate that with a need,
Mm-hmm.
right? I need
Mm-hmm.
time spent. And
Mm-hmm.
under the other part of it is trusting that the people in your life will communicate what they want and need from you.
Mm.
And
Mm.
instead of preloading it up here, that's how we end up not choosing ourselves and choosing others, because we've preloaded what we think others want and need from us.
Hmm.
And we operate in that space. That baby don't still need you cutting his meat at 10 years old. I'm just saying. That
Let's just get clear. He all right. He can do it himself.
yeah. That husband don't need you finding his socks and laying them out. He may want you to do them, or he may have grown accustomed to you doing that,
Right.
but
Right.
it's not a need. And if you're tired, if you're exhausted, if you're irritated, you need to rest. You need a
Mm.
break. So your needs trumps their wants.
Wow. Now that's a whole word. Ladies, if you watching this live or the replay and that right there touched you, drop some ones, some hearts down here, because boy, you said, listen, you have preloaded in your head already what you think they need, and you operate from that place. And that is probably not even true, which has then made no room for you to choose you, because you've already decided they needed you more than you needed yourself.
Yeah, come on. That's it.
Wow.
Is that what I said?
That's what you said, girl. That's what you said. That's what I had heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
That's it. I mean, think about
Wow.
how many times have we operated in relationships based on what we think the other person is thinking.
Oh yeah, and we be wrong half the time, because who's a mind reader?
That's it. Not me.
Nobody.
I don't
Mm-mm.
have balls. I don't
Nope.
know magic 8 ball that you used to
Nope.
flip the answer
You
on.
shake them up and make them. None of that.
That's
Doesn't exist.
I'm just
Wow.
to ask, and I'm going to believe that the people that love me will be honest with me
Okay.
and tell me the truth. So if I say, son, do you need for me to da 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 da?
Right.
I'm gonna expect that he's gonna be truthful and say, yes, I do, or no, I don't.
Right. Wow. And then what you said earlier, that's an opportunity that if you need to teach them how to do something, that they don't continue to need you in that same exact way over and over and over again. It's something that they can do for themselves.
That's it.
That's good. That's so good.
That hand over hand, taking the time to teach. And it can be fun. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be like militant or anything like that.
Yeah.
It can be 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. But the
Yeah.
most important thing is just for women to just show up for themselves first,
Yeah.
and we try to do all that we can, like you doing the live, the mental health talk show, us sitting in a chair as clinicians.
Mm-hmm.
There can be all the options and resources available, but as women, if they feel like the only option they have is the option that they're living, then there's no options that exist.
No, you have no choice. You feel like you have no choices.
Yeah. And as long as you feel that way, then until you choose to shift your mindset, all of this information is good, but it is not applied.
Right.
It's just there, and
Right.
so I would hope that the ladies would really take time to journal
Yeah.
on their notepad of their phone, still
Mm-hmm.
away for some quiet time. It could be
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes in the morning before everybody wake up, 5 minutes
Yeah.
the house is asleep, or just say, I'm going for a walk. I'll be back in
Right.
15 minutes,
Right.
and
And that's it. Mm-hmm.
and be with their thoughts and spend some time. Mona Lisa and I decided, like, okay, even though it's COVID and it's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
host a retreat for women who
Mm-hmm.
prioritize themselves. We can
Yeah, tell us about it, because I wanted to mention that too. Mm-hmm.
the Prioritize Me retreat is in Navasota, Texas. It's the last weekend in March, and the whole idea is to teach women how to put themselves on their calendar first.
Mm-hmm.
as our First Lady Michelle Obama has said. And it's by doing, it's by
Mm-hmm.
actually being there. So we are going to be walking through these activities. We're going to be talking about how doing the activity felt and offering options where it's like, this is the space you can do this, this, or this in this time frame. So they
Mm-hmm.
get to practice it. So it's not us like up talking, oh, this is this. This is
Right.
real life, hand over hand.
Got it.
Experience it where it feels good to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, I want to do that again. I want to duplicate this. Oh,
Right.
I can do this around the pond in my neighborhood, or there's
Right.
a park that I've never gone to. So that's the whole idea. We're going to have outdoor activities, game,
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one coaching sessions, all meals included. And right now we're running half off for Women's History Month. So it makes
Good.
$450 single double occupancy and 500 single. So if it's like, if you want to bring a friend and be in the room together, cool. If you want to do it solo, fine. And we're keeping the numbers very limited. So we're
Mm-hmm.
taking less than 10 women. So the spots are limited, and we just running it until it's sold out.
Got you. I love that. And so how do they get information about that retreat?
So they can go to my IG page, lbspeaks_, or go to
Mm-hmm.
LaShastaBell.com/shop, and it's all set up. Click the buttons. You get a
Okay.
little swag bag so that you can continue what you started at the retreat. There will be items in the bag to help continue to prioritize yourself throughout the year, throughout the rest of your life, because it's what's good for us.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Listen, you have dropped all kinds of gems and mics and all kinds of things. I've learned a few things. This is why I love having girlfriends that are smarter than me, because I get to learn. Like, here's the thing. We all have our lane of genius,
That's
and we are a group of geniuses. But when we get together, it is so wonderful for me to soak up your genius. Like,
yes, and
I love it.
same. It's a two-way street. I learn something new every time we talk.
We are together. Exactly.
Talk about what you learned the last time we talked.
Right. Oh my God.
So
So good.
I appreciate you bringing me on. I would love to stay and chat, but I gotta go support
Yes.
the young sir that's in the Black History program.
I love it.
A week late, but because of the freeze.
We had, right. We got to redo and reset. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So thank you so very much, and I will catch you offline, my dear.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday and your weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.